Guitar and Drum in Phoenix, and by request, we are checking out an Epiphone SoCal 50 head. The guitar I got today is a Fender HM strat. I've actually done a video on this guitar in turquoise, and you can check that out. I'll leave a link to that video too.
Turquoise?
Turquoise, yes, indeed. So thanks to Don Douglas, who's one of our viewers, who actually saw this head sitting behind me on one of our videos and said, I want to hear that amp. And so here it is, by request. So this Epiphone SoCal 50, I'll start by saying it is all tube, and we've got 12 AX7s in the preamp and EL34s in the power amp. Well, you could get a real good look at what's going on inside this thing. It's sort of like one of those restaurants where you can see the kitchen.
Yeah, but they're not doing anything.
Well, do you want them to dance for you?
Exactly.
Is that what's happening? This amp is, the price is very, very reasonable, and to get an all-tube amp for, let's say less than $500.
I'd say less than $400.
All right, let's keep going. Yeah, I mean, it's a really reasonable price.
We have a number of these in stock.
Yeah, there's 3 of them sitting around. Is that
That would be a number, yes.
Yes, thank you. So we just heard the clean sound, as you can hear just by the little stuff I was playing, that this thing is definitely got some shimmering, clean tones. So that's pretty nice. But let's go over to the rock and roll side, shall we? This is the clean channel here we're on, and I'm just going to hit this button right here. It's going to take us...
So we can go to the other side of the tracks.
That's right. And I'm going to get my humbucking full on here. Woo! That's got some nice tone to it. It's very... It sags, right?
It has some sag.
It has some sag, and sag is that sound. Like, how would you describe sag when it comes to tube amps? It's sort of like spongy,
It's
kind of.
Yeah, a little bit spongy, not quite as tight.
Yeah.
A little bit more forgiving.
Yeah, that's right. So it does have a lot of sag. It reminds me a lot of the early Mesa Boogie amps, like the Mark I or Mark II or whatever series of amps. So that's kind of the gist of the tone of the amp to me. There are a lot of things that we could do to adjust the tone, namely, as you can see, well, I got the gain cranked, so that's all of the gain that comes on board. So if you want even more, obviously we got to put a pedal in front of it, but that's a fair amount of gain for this guitar player. Contour switch does a radical shift in the mid-range. There it is, all cut out, you know.
Uh-oh.
That's sort of the bedroom tone, I call it, right?
Yeah.
So that contour does quite a bit of shifting. So I got it kind of at 12 o'clock there. And this level, there's plenty more volume to throw at you, but I don't want to blow out your TV sets and your smartphones. So I'm going to keep it at a fairly lower volume, but it does snort 50 watts. Speaking of that volume, it does have the ability to switch it down to 25 watts, so you don't have to destroy your neighbors, like I did at my house with my Marshall Plexi just a few days ago.
25 is almost half of 50.
You're so good at math. That must be that Arizona math they've been teaching you.
Well, I did get me some book learning at one time, and I was very good at my ciphers.
Wow. Okay, so the EQ section over here proper is pretty interesting. There's an interactive and independent, they call it. That's this switch right here. So what does that mean? Well, the interactive one means that sort of like when I turn the treble up, the bass goes down, and then when I turn this treble all the way up, the bass kind of stays up. So this treble is actually interacting with that. So these two are friends or enemies, depending on which direction you're going. So if I disengage that button, I go back to the world where everybody works independently. So that's kind of cool. I kind of like the interactive one, I think, the best. So I lost a little bass there by turning up the treble. And then just a little bit. It's not like the most dramatic effect, but that's the deal with the EQ section. And we got some reverb, or not. I guess we need a pedal to get that going.
Yeah, you need a pedal for
Okay,
it.
sorry. And the presence adds that nice little shimmer on top and makes your guitar stand out as you're rehearsing with your band. So it's kind of dull and lifeless, and then we kind of add a little presence to get that top end.
So apparently I'm like the presence knob because you're fairly dull and lifeless, and then when you add me, it comes to life.
If that's what helps you sleep at night.
That's
yes.
exactly how
So,
exactly how it works.
Let's take time to thank Don Douglas for suggesting that we do this amp so you could hurl insults at me. And thanks again for watching our videos and subscribing and sharing and all that stuff that you do. Check out our Reverb page to see nearly a complete rundown of our inventory, and all of it can be shipped right to your doorstep. What could be more convenient than that? All right, well, thanks again for watching. We will see you next time.